Hey there, it's Johanna, and I used to walk through life feeling like I had this giant pool of lava just kind of always simmering. Um, for the longest time, I had no idea how to interact with my emotions, how to feel them and process them in a healthy way or really any way. And I didn't feel like I had a right to feel them. Both, someone always has it worse, so who am I to be sad or upset or angry or any of that? But then there's also we I think we get a lot of messages to kind of just get over it, to be happy and kind of get ourselves together, because it can be uncomfortable for others to be with our emotions. So if they could just go away, everyone will be more comfortable. But shoving down those emotions doesn't really make them go away. They get kind of stuck and all tangled up and compressed and turn into, in my case, feeling like simmering lava until, inevitably some little thing would happen and that lava pool would boil over and I would let some emotions out, probably by saying something I didn't mean and instantly regretted, probably to someone I cared about, probably someone who had very little to do with why I was upset in the first place. And then I'd feel horrible and would probably cry about it. So all of that would, release enough of that built up pressure that I could go from boiling back down to simmering and just kind of go back to get on with life. And that was not a super amazing way to go through life, but I didn't know anything different. I didn't know what to do about it. So today I want to share a practice that I've been doing kind of for years that I find helpful, to just kind of give myself some space to feel whatever I'm feeling, because we feel what we feel, but to give myself some space to feel that and to process those things. So I do this pretty regularly, ideally about once a week, but well, you know how it goes. Sometimes it's longer, and if it goes too long, I can tell because the lava starts building back up. But about once a week or so, I like to set aside a little bit of time, maybe half an hour, to just let myself just feel and express in some way my emotions, to give myself some emotional release. And this can look a few different ways. One of the things I do most often is I'll turn on some intense, moody music and just cry for a little while. Maybe about something specific, or maybe just kind of letting whatever's built up out. And when I do that, sometimes I'll have a blanket or a pillow that I can squeeze or maybe punch a little bit or scream into to muffle the sound. And another thing I do is I'll go for a drive out. I'll find some country roads where there's more fields or trees than houses, so I can actually just full out scream without scaring my neighbors. And a key piece of this is, for one, just doing it regularly so things aren't building up to that boil over point, but I keep kind of letting stuff out. But also to take care of myself, I'm really intentional about putting a container around these times. Like there is an end point. So it's not just, I know it can sometimes feel like, oh, if I let myself cry, how am I going to stop? So I build in an intentional endpoint. With if I'm listening to music, I don't just put on like the radio or whatever. There's a specific playlist that's a specific length. And when the last song is done, it's time to blow my nose, wash my face, and move on. Or, if I'm driving, probably when I get home. Time to stop screaming so I don't scare the neighbors. And then, so I have that endpoint, but then I know what I'm gonna do next. Something that will help me transition from being really in that emotional feeling space to just kind of getting back to the rest of my day. Some things for me, I might go for a walk or do a workout or maybe take a shower and just kind of rinse all that off. Or I might have it set up that I'm going to reach out to a friend, whatever it is. But that kind of helps me keep up on it regularly, but also have some container and boundaries around it. So, if this sounds helpful for you, give it a try. And if you're like, I don't know if that's a good idea, you know yourself best. Take care of yourself. Or maybe for you, it would be helpful to walk through this with someone who's really going to be able to support you in that. Do that. My question for you today is, and leave a comment, let me know, what do you do to help yourself kind of process your feelings as they come up in your life so they don't get all stuck and you have lava boiling over. Let me know, and I'll be back with more soon. In the meantime, remember, you can trust yourself.